tourism to the U.S. is on the decline.
That this summer already has seen significantly fewer tourists.
Spending from foreign tourists expected to fall $8.5 billion this year compared to
here in New York, tourism is also being hit big time.
America's summer tourism has lost its charm. Meanwhile, other countries are happily swooping in, taking what's left, and leaving the U.S. in the dust. While the U.S. is left scratching its head, the rest of the world is out here thriving. So, can America make a comeback, or is it just the last one to the party?
Unsolicited, they said like Vegas has gotten too expensive. And these are all experienced travelers. They go to shows, they travel for personal needs, and without even asking them, what's your opinion about Vegas? They said, wow, it's gotten really expensive.
Let's get into why America's tourism decreases day by day. The once thriving entertainment capital is now a shadow of its former self. Hotels are only operating at 60% capacity during peak season, which is nearly unheard of. And if you think that's bad, the price drop in hotel rooms will shock you even more. Rates have crashed to $163 a night, marking a 16% drop from last year. That's not a slight dip. It's a major panic button moment. This isn't just a small slump. Vegas has never seen anything like it. The streets once packed with tourists are eerily quiet. International visitors, who used to fill the Strip with life, are nowhere to be found.
The escalating trade war between the U.S. and Canada is pushing travelers to shift their vacation plans away from the U.S. to Mexico and elsewhere.
Add to that the nightmare of dealing with U.S. borders. Long waits, increased scrutiny, and now a $250 visa fee? No wonder tourists are steering clear. Visiting the U.S. has become a chore, and people aren't interested in the hassle anymore. Meanwhile, countries like Canada and Mexico are rolling out the red carpet with easier entry, and tourists are happily taking that path instead. It's almost like the U.S. is stuck in a game of catch-up while the rest of the world keeps moving forward.
It is sputtering. We learned this morning that job growth in the past 3 months has all but ended. There were just 22,000 new jobs created last month.
It's not just tourism that's crumbling. Hotels, restaurants, and even the local workforce are suffering. More than 4,000 jobs have been lost due to the lack of international visitors. Hawaii, once a thriving hub of activity, is now a shell of its former self. With fewer tourists spending their money, local businesses are shutting down, and the vibrant island economy is turning into something closer to purgatory than paradise. The crash is deep and widespread, and it's clear that Hawaii's tourism is in serious trouble, with no easy solutions in sight.
Yeah, we're going to bounce.
Meanwhile, back on the mainland, America's biggest cities are feeling the effects of the tourism disaster too. New York, for instance, has lost a staggering $4 billion in tourism revenue, thanks to 3.1 million fewer international visitors. And this isn't just a temporary setback. It's a sign of a much larger issue. Hotels in New York are rethinking their future as they watch international tourists, who would normally triple domestic spending, vanish. Real estate and staffing shifts are hitting the city hard. If this keeps up, New York's iconic tourism scene might not recover for years.
Disney was not crowded at all. It was the least crowded I've seen it since I was a child, and tickets were
Los Angeles isn't faring much better. International visitors are expected to drop by 25 to 30%, and LA's tourism industry is teetering on the edge of collapse. But if you think that's bad, consider Disney World. The ultimate American family destination has seen a 38% drop in international bookings. When families aren't choosing Disney, you know something's deeply wrong. Disney World has long been a symbol of America's tourism dominance, but now it's part of a larger trend of decline across the country.
Parks are emptying out right now as tourism within America plummets, guys. And this has been happening for a long time now. We're actually predicted to lose $12.5 billion within you.
Orlando, which relies heavily on Disney tourism, is also in a tailspin. The drop in visitors there is a direct reflection of the broader crisis. When Disney World struggles, it's not just about Mickey Mouse's decline. It's a clear signal that the entire American tourism infrastructure is in trouble. So, as the U.S. continues to lose its grip on the global tourism market, the question remains, what can America do to turn things around? And will it ever be able to regain its former glory?
It should be between 4 and 4.5 based on where growth is. John, I think what we're more focused on is rate volatility. So just like the VIX does it for equity, there's an index for interest rate volatility, and we're about to breach kind of the levels that we have not seen since before the March of 2022 Fed tightening cycle. So that's one reason to be excited. Second reason, small businesses, 99.9% of businesses in this company have less than 500 people, which are small businesses. And
global events and conferences in the U.S. are fading into the background, and it's a major sign that something's gone terribly wrong. Take major international medical conferences, for example. These were once huge events, attracting thousands of doctors to U.S. cities. Now they're splitting up and taking their business elsewhere, like to Boston and Toronto. Why the sudden shift? It's not just about location anymore. The U.S. has become a less attractive place for these events, and international destinations are offering safer, easier, and more reliable options. This is just one of many signs that America's hold on the global event scene is slipping.
I don't see returning to the U.S. anytime soon, actually, unless I'm forced to.
Business people are now eyeing Toronto, London, and Singapore for opportunities instead of the U.S. That's a big blow to America's once famed competitive edge. The country that once had the power to attract the best minds and brightest entrepreneurs is now struggling to keep its seat at the table. And as for tourists, they're simply not coming back. Airlines like Lufthansa and British Airways are cutting U.S. routes while expanding their services to other parts of the world. The world is shifting, and the U.S. is being left behind. The big question now is, how long can America afford to ignore the problem? The tourism crisis is only getting worse, and the government doesn't seem to have a solid plan to address it. If America doesn't take action soon, it could be stuck on the sidelines while the rest of the world races ahead. The future of American tourism is uncertain, and unless things change fast, the U.S. might miss the chance to turn things around.
You rent from these companies and they penny pinch you on every thing that they can. We are being bullied into poverty by these corporations and billionaires.
America's tourism industry is going through some serious restructuring, and it's not pretty. With the tourism boom officially over, hotels across the country are now being converted into residential properties. Entire floors are shutting down, staff are being laid off, and operations are consolidating. The lavish hotels that once thrived on high tourist numbers are now scrambling to survive, and in many cases, they're reinventing themselves as housing solutions instead of travel hubs. The transformation is happening right in front of us, and it's hard to deny that the tourism industry, as we once knew it, is fading away.
New jobs report and the president's tariffs are dragging down U.S. markets at this.
The effects of this collapse are being felt in more places than just the hotels and convention halls. Retailers, entertainment venues, and local attractions are all experiencing a domino effect from the decline in tourism. When international visitors stop coming, local businesses lose out on millions of dollars in spending. Entire sectors of the economy are suffering, and it's not just about empty hotel rooms. The economic ripple effect is huge, with many industries now scrambling to adapt to a world where tourists are no longer a guaranteed revenue source.
What do? How do you clean that particular mess?
So, what happens next? Is America going to turn things around, or has the international tourism market permanently shifted away? The future is uncertain, but there's no doubt that drastic action needs to be taken.
You have to think and understand and research what are the requirements for each city or country you're going.
To recover, America needs to focus on restoring trust with international travelers. The first step is to address the growing distrust that exists due to long visa processes, tight border controls, and high travel costs. Simplifying visa procedures and cutting down on unnecessary fees would be a great place to start. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. The U.S. needs to overhaul its tourism infrastructure, making it more welcoming and efficient for visitors. Upgrading airports, improving public transportation, and offering more convenient services will make the U.S. a much more appealing destination for travelers. America also needs to rebuild its relationships with global tourism boards and work with other countries to show that it's still a place that welcomes visitors. Countries like Canada, Mexico, and several European nations are already capitalizing on America's missteps, so it's time to learn from them. The U.S. needs to adapt to what's working internationally and make those adjustments before it's too late. America should diversify tourism offerings, invest in infrastructure, restore international trust, implement targeted marketing, streamline visa processes, and prioritize sustainability to revitalize its tourism economy. The road ahead for America's tourism industry is rocky, and if drastic changes aren't made soon, it may never recover its former status as a tourism giant. The time for action is now. Will America find a way to bounce back, or will it fall into the shadows of its once glorious tourism empire? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the world is watching closely. What do you think? Can America recover its tourism industry, or is this the end of an era?